And for 2020, if he bumps up Social Security, guaranteed promise. What could that would just mute these people that are anti-Trump, liberals, socialists, and tax and spend people. Hey, look, let these older people live their lives in luxury, their golden years. Sure, bump it up, man. 50% increase, boom, overnight. Social Security. Why not? All that would be very good for local economies. Do it, Trump. And I promise you, absolutely certain, if you do a hefty increase to Social Security, I know I'm a bit hyperbolic sometimes. I'm just trying to make a point. 50%, that's maybe 20%, something that's healthy and, substantial. But, it's the same thing when I talk about the stock market. If it fell from, you had $1 million in your 401k and it went to 10,000. Look, that's just hyperbolic. But if it went from a million to, 150,000 in numbers, in terms of numbers, but the 150,000 was now worth 2 million in buying power. Do you understand? Then you don't care. But I am using hyperbole in order to make my point. So that's the same thing here. So I'll exaggerate something, but I'm trying to make a point, okay? So Trump guaranteed re-election 2020 if he bumps up Social Security. That's simple. Just do that. That would be great for local economies. It's a win-win. Everybody's going to be happy. And fund it through a Tobin tax. Just say, look, this money's sitting there on Wall Street. The brokers are taking from it, doing needless exchanges just to be relevant. Let's take a little. I mean, remember, these resources belong to all of us. Thus saith the Lord kind of thing. Not that I'm the Lord, but it's in your Bible. I mean, the earth is God's. You put two and two together. You're being logical and reasonable. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That the timber and the agriculture and the fish and all the resources, the minerals, all this stuff belongs to all of us. God put it on the earth, the electricity and the energy and the water and all this stuff belongs to all of us. Okay, it just does. So there's a good reason why it's fair. So don't stress out the people paying into their Social Security, telling them, oh, you got to pay more Social Security now. No, don't do that. Make them pay less and subsidize theirs more with this same said tax, this Tobin type tax. And there's good cause and reason and logic, and nobody can complain about it unless they're evil. How could the socialists complain? How could the liberals complain? How could the Democrats dare complain about such a liberal policy? But in the long run, is fiscally conservative and prudent. I'm for everybody's taxes being lower. The taxes you pay to the government and the taxes you pay to private entities. Roger Stone is being menaced by certain people in the quote government. My plea is that you please leave the man alone. Anyone with with more than a single brain cell can see he's a patriotic guy, he's a nice guy, he's a gentleman, and he's honest. Okay, I don't agree with his support of Nixon. I mean, maybe he knew the man on a level I don't, but I didn't like Nixon's policy. I don't agree with Ronald Reagan. I liked Ronald Reagan, but he was dumber than a box of rocks on economic issues. He let the banksters walk all over him. So, I still don't agree, but I like the man. I just think he's a good guy. I think he's a white hat. I think he's a good American, a good human being, and stop giving him a hard time, man. Okay, I mean, good God, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on during campaigning that you could say, oh well, this might have been, questionable. But I mean, come on, you're looking for, you're splitting hairs here. It's like biblically, the analogy Jesus gave was, you people, you strain out a gnat, okay, from your food and your drink, but you'll swallow a camel. I mean, that's what it's like. That's how they operate. Like I pointed out, the mainstream media fixates on Stormy Daniels and, oh my God, Trump's this whoremonger and liar, and he lied about paying off the woman. And, but we don't care about terrorist training camps set up to, where little kids are dying and they're training little kids to shoot up schools, be mass murderers in America. We don't care. That's passe. It's not important. We let these people out, and they're all free now. And don't you're stupid. Don't focus on that. No, look at this. Look what Trump did. Look at his look what Manafort did. Oh boy, I mean, these people are they're Russian collaborators all the while. I mean, they're giving away all kinds of military secrets, technology secrets to China. We all know. Hillary Clinton's collaboration with these people as Secretary of State. I mean, good God. I mean, such utter recklessness. We knew she was trying to appeal to the Latinos with open borders policy and all this to get them to vote and without even being citizens. Now in California, it's probably against the law to stop an illegal, undocumented person from voting in California. I mean, that's how far over the top we've come here. It's off the rails, man. And the China thing, I mean, we've letting them walk all over us, putting us in debt, all this, and talk about collusion and collaboration. I mean, it ain't Russia, bro. And yet the mainstream media would make you think it was. And it's like such a non-starter, but they make it everything. It's insanity. I mean, we know we're getting to the end of the line here when this is what they've got left in their quiver. I mean, it's nothing, man. Their arrows are flaccid and limp. They got nothing, man. And the public knows it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose, man. Because America wants to be free. I want to be free. I want to be happy. In order for me to be happy, everybody else around me needs to be happy. Okay, at least as happy as possible. Set aside all the organic suffering we have to go through. I'm talking about the unnecessary, imposed, artificial suffering that people are going through that we don't have to go through. Okay, unnecessary. What don't you understand about unnecessary? Okay, that's the kind of suffering I object vociferously to. Okay, and whoever is, if your fruits are rotten, you got to take blame. You're a part of this thing. Okay, if you don't want real tangible progress, not the kind that's bandied about, oh, we're progressives, but we're our idea to fund the city and these programs, these liberal programs, is that we're going to put in parking meters or pay to park and take away the free parking and give you tickets, and we're going to hire, we're going to create we're job creators, so we're going to create some. We've lost our collective freaking minds, folks. We're all worried about our job. What the hell? A few hundred years ago, we'd be glad. Oh, there's not enough work. Great. Just so I got enough to eat. I got a roof over my head. I'm happy. Got water to drink. Man, I'm happy. I'm free. Wouldn't worry about our stinking jobs. Crime would plummet if we just had a basic income as an extension of Social Security. Your taxes would go down dramatically because you're not paying for the criminal industrial complex with the jails. 50,000 a year or something per inmate per year in California. You think you're not going to save taxes by doing a basic income with a national debt? Okay, we're not going in debt. We'll be in the black. Let Trump pay off the debt with these tariffs. We'll be sitting in the shade, the whole country. And we'll set a good example for people all over the world. Follow this, do that, do the next thing. The dubious wars, we couldn't get these damn things started. All these, we're funding this giant welfare industrial complex. All these jobs that we've created, we wouldn't need them anymore. Send people checks directly. I'm just saying, think how much you'd save in your taxes. You see, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. You're going to cut off your nose to spite your face because it's too liberal of a program. You understand the madness that we're all engaging in here by not figuring this thing out and realizing the division is being manufactured? Abortions, you people, you conservatives say you don't like abortion, you're going to see that plummet with a basic income. All these check cashing places, which are equivalent to what pissed Jesus off when he turned over the money changers' table, same kind of thing. The bilking the people that can least afford it. People that are desperate. I need your money. I'm going to starve to death without the money, so I got to go to these coin changers. And even though I know I'm going to become their slave, their servant, of course, when you got 1,000% interest or whatever the hell they're allowed to charge, which used to be illegal, used to be called usurious, and they kind of weaseled their way through subterfuge, and they're on all the states because they operate out of one other state that they're all licensed through. I mean, it's just completely, the government's against us now. The government's gone rogue. The government's gone fascist, the establishment. So you see all these people that hate Trump, they're the establishmentarians because he's the anti-establishmentarian president, the first one we've had since Jimmy Carter that I know of. Well, maybe Ronald Reagan tried. He tried to, but he was shot at. So he learned to, watch his P's and Q's. But yeah, I haven't liked our presidents for decades and decades and decades, man. JFK beyond Jimmy Carter was the last one I really liked. See, we're going back. I mean, it seems like ancient history, but it's fairly recent history. 55 years ago when JFK was murdered, we had a coup, an economic coup, economic, political, social coup. And it's affected everything today. If JFK had gotten his way, we'd have prosperity in America all around the world. Nobody in the whole planet needs to go desperately poor in today. Nobody can argue that point. That's a fact. I can prove it with paper and pencil, man. I can show you the math. Supply and demand, we could have such excess and superfluity, extra houses all over the world that are taken care of, housekeepers to take care of these vacant houses, and landscapers, and joy everywhere, and freedom, man. That's the world we could have, man. All of us. All of us. That's what we've got to shoot for. That's the only plateau I know that we can get comfortable with, is perfection, when God's will is firmly established upon earth, and that's it. When we're all free from the money masters of misery. Satan's ambrosia. Yeah, I don't say anything bad about people that have passed, like John McCain recently, because I mean, you got to respect the dead. This is where this came from, because they walked through a door that we haven't, that we know nothing about. So we've got to, we've got to be a little bit reverent about that. That they're facing their maker now, and we haven't done that yet. But yeah, I was talking earlier about this Bill Maher. OMG. I mean, this guy is a repugnant little liar, okay? And he's full of it, man. All these people in the audience clapping. I mean, they're like demon possessed, man. I don't know how else to put it, but that's how these people are. They'll watch. Oh, what did this top pseudo liberal say? Okay, I'm all on board. Boom. Then just like a wave washes over these people. We're all of one mind now. No matter what Bill Maher says, no matter what Brennan says, we're down because they hate Trump and he is worthy of hatred. I mean, he did this and that. They won't ever talk about what he did. They just say he's racist and he's anti-woman. Look what he said about this woman. And he's a Russian collaborator. I mean, good God, you're treasonous if you like Trump. You're evil, man, and you're un-American, and and you're worthy of being condemned, man. I mean, good God, you're sick and twisted people. All from just one thing. One little thing comes up, and everybody's just in unison. All these pseudo-liberals, that's what they are. They're enemies of true liberals, man. I'm telling you, man, these people are sick and twisted, and it's like a demon possession. Who is their God? I mean, do they ever cite Bible reference for their beliefs and anti-Trumpism and anything of substance that would back up what they're saying? Talk intellectually with people that refute the things that they're spewing. No, they won't have those conversations. No, they just spew out profanities, expletives, and walk away like Whoopi Goldberg. And, ugh. Oh my God, we're in so much trouble, man. I mean, the devil is deeply in the details of our problems, socially, politically, and economically speaking. We are in a lot of trouble, my friends. Just understand that it's going to take people really, really being serious as individuals and grabbing this bull by the horns, getting it, and empowering others to get it, and to take the same bull by the same horns and work together here for ourselves, for future generations, okay, for our survival, for the survival of America, for the survival of the species, for the betterment of our species, for true progress, okay, for less taxes, lower taxes, man, a lower cost of living. You know, there's a debate going around about this male females liking different temperatures in the offices. I actually, the temperature that the women like, I actually like that. I don't know what that says about me, but being that I don't eat red meat, that might be part of it. Too many guys are eating too much red meat because I've noticed that makes me warm. If I ate a piece of red meat right now, I get you guarantee my temperature would go up.